What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Pregame, your source for F1 banter. And today, we're going to talk about Ferrari's last laps at Monza.
Ferrari disappointment in general, frankly.
I know what you mean.
Every time I feel like Fred Vasseur has his arms wrapped around Ferrari, and finally, every weekend, this is going to be the weekend where Fred figures it out, we just get more weirdness.
I honestly can't believe it. This is a team that is struggling to stay with Red Bull, right? They're trying their damnedest, I would say, more so than any other team on the grid right now. And what do we get? A pissing match on the last two laps between Charles and friggin' Carlos.
Yeah, which Carlos, honestly, I think was in the right to ask them to call it off. I mean, he had an epic qualifying. He rightly beat Charles. There was no chicanery. There was nothing weird about that. He just flat out beat Charles to pole. Beat Max, right? Outdid Max Verstappen in a Red Bull in 2023. And Charles putting the moves on. Almost took the pair of them out by the end of the race.
I just don't get it. I'm all for teams letting their racers race. That's all good and fun. But the reality is that this is a team sport to a certain degree. And looking back at the tape of how close that last call was between Carlos and Charles, I'm just left scratching my head. Doesn't make no sense.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, especially because Carlos did everything he could in that first stint, still got the move put on him by Max. It was just a matter of time, right? I think it was like lap 5, Max started calling out Carlos's tire deg on the Ferrari ahead of him. It was just like a shark waiting for the chum to go into the water kind of situation. It was sad almost, like Ferrari at Monza, and we're all just waiting for Max to either get into an accident with Carlos, which nearly happened a couple of times into turn 1, or for Max to finally just get put past him.
This was the other issue. So if you've already conceded that P1 and P2 are not yours, and you've got P3 and P4 on lock, right? Mercedes is a distant fifth, sixth. Then what is the harm in trying a different strategy on the tires? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
To me, it was lap 17. Charles had a super quiet race up to that point, and they had an opportunity to let Charles buy Carlos and let him drive in free air behind Max. And that was the one time, strategy-wise, where it was like, okay, let's take a shot at continuing to vie for P1. But it was pretty clear that they weren't going to do that, or they didn't feel like they had the machinery to really be competitive. It was just a really weekend from the strategy side, but just copy and paste that because it's going to happen again.
What strategy side? Come on, let's be real. It's time somebody started calling out these F1 teams for what they are, and frankly, Ferrari, figure it out. You're a joke. That might be a little bit strong to all the Ferrari fans out there. I'm sorry, but why aren't you upset?
So Ferrari gives Charles Leclerc the message, fight but no risk. I still don't know how to take that. You're in a car at 200 miles an hour and you're telling one of the best race car drivers in the world to fight, but also don't take any risks with multi-million-dollar cars with billions on the line in terms of the Ferrari brand. I just don't even understand what on earth are you supposed to do in that situation.
I'm just going to be honest. That is a bunch of double talk nonsense from a team that lacks leadership and direction. That's what that is. 100%. It's all the tifosi out there listening. Sorry again for the harsh words, but frankly, we're doing it because we love the sport more than anything, and we just want to see Ferrari competitive. So figure out the strategy. Thanks again for tuning into Pregame.
So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check us out for more F1 content.
And until then,
over and out.